My name is Connor Woodward. My role at Characters at Large is one of the founders, and I am also a writer. Cal is about bringing together a group of friends to create stories that we as fans can not only be proud of, but also the people that we bring together can be proud of. My favorite comic stories would have to be the DC run of No Man's Land, written by Jordan B. Garfinkel, and then the Marvel run of Ultimate Spider-Man, written by Brian Michael Bendis with art by Mark Bagley. Phew, jeez. Oh gosh, that's a hard one. I have to actually think about that one.
5 minutes later.
I'm having an existential crisis.
3:28 a.m.
Anything that's like quick cut. Like, you know that squeaky dog toy that moves across the table and starts squeaking really fast and explodes? So my approach to storytelling and world building is very much so that the reader is a person inside the world, that they are living this story. And I really want to capture that so that, you are there. You are watching what is unfolding. You are not just some bystander. You are a part of the action. And that's what I think will make a good story. So my preferred method of storytelling leans more towards the dark and twisted and a lot more horror. And that is kind of the polar opposite of some of the writers that we have. So I really think that, it pushes the envelope and we can dip our toe in the water of something that isn't the norm for a lot of people. So I think that it kind of adds some variety to what we can offer. So when I was younger, my dad kind of raised me on comics. He would read to me, kind of every night, just different stories. Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, just all of these heroes that I grew to look up to. And I really fell in love with the way that you can see the action on the page and that you can almost feel what these characters are going through. It's such a visual medium and it's so versatile. And that's really why I think that, comics are such a good way of telling stories. You really get a feel for exactly what the character's going through. And you can, you see the action play for yourself. You don't have to watch it in your head like you're reading a novel. And it's this energizing experience. And if I could just, capture even a little bit of it, I'd be happy. Because, I want the readers to feel the action, and I want them to be a part of it. My favorite hero would have to be Spawn, created by Todd McFarlane. He is everything that embodies what a cool superhero is supposed to be for me. He's got a really cool design, a really cool look. The storytelling itself is dark, and it plays a lot around of good and evil without outright saying what is good and what is evil. Spawn isn't afraid to do what needs to be done in order for justice to happen. He has a strong moral code that, he abides by, but just because his moral code doesn't line up with yours doesn't mean that what he's doing isn't, in a sense, justice. So, when Joel and Kenny approached me, they had this unnamed project that they had been working on for a couple years. And they sat me down and pulled up a Google Slides presentation. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that there were probably 60 or 70 slides of just hero concepts. Some of them only had a name and some of them only had a power, but there were a good 30 of them that were completely fleshed out. Name, backstory, power, weaknesses, strengths, everything you could ever need in order to create a character. And seeing that and seeing just how much work they had put into it made me realize that I want to be a part of this. And Characters at Large was born from that on. My dream goal would be to take a story that I have, written from the ground up and transform it into, some rendition of the comics that I grew up reading. I want to capture that nostalgia that I had and bring that to a new audience that might not realize that comics are as creative a storytelling medium as possible. And, even if my story reaches 2 or 3 people and gets them onto the comic train and gets them interested in reading, that would kind of make all of this worth it.